you have to make offers to many people because selling is not an event, it's a journey. Selling is not an event, it's a journey. So that's why today we're gonna talk about sell or stay broke, how the top 1% make millions by making offers to many people, how the top 1% make millions by making offers to many people. An offer you don't make is an offer that they cannot take. Today, we're actually going to talk about profits. Everybody wants to be profitable from the sales that you actually make, but sometimes you need to practice before you actually can get the profits. I remember I was 12 years old in the 6th grade. I made my very first offer for this girl to be my girlfriend. I asked this girl out and she declined. And that year, I remember asking 3 more girls and 2 of them declined. But then the last one, Heather, said yes. And just like relationships, sometimes you need to practice before you get profits, right? And sales is the exact same way. I remember, ever since when I was 12 years old up to 30, I obviously, after Heather and after Natalie, obviously I've asked many girls to be my girlfriend. And I've had some people turn me down. Some people said yes. I've had many girlfriends in between. I've had many that declined, rejected me. And here's the thing, I learned from that, right? I learned that, again, what the practice was needed so that I can get to that ultimate yes. I remember when I was turning 30, I wanted somebody more permanent. I wanted somebody to, kind of build a life with, right? And I asked this girl out and she has now been my wife of 22 years. Her name is Phyllis. So same thing there, right? So I needed the practice before that ultimate yes that really mattered, which is my now wife, who I'm absolutely in love with. And the practice was needed before I can get the results, right? The profit from my relationship. So sales is the exact same way. So, and if your sales is like a roller coaster, right? It's up and down. It's inconsistent. It's steady, not steady. And it's going on a loop. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting that sale. All of a sudden it's a no, right? And they're thinking about it, all of a sudden it's a no. And it goes some sideways and you're not growing. And sometimes you get sales, sometimes you don't. It's just like, oh my God, like it just clients will run over. So if your sales is inconsistent, this is for you, right? You need to really hear this. If you look at the sales, you might believe or think that you have a sales problem, or a conversion problem. You don't, right? It's the sales, it's the activities before that, right? It's the practice that you need before you can actually get the profit, right? People, if you really look at it, people are already buying, but just not from you. And the reason why they're not buying from you is because you haven't made them your offer. That's the only reason why people haven't bought. Right? Either they don't know you exist, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, but once they know you exist, I see it time and time again, people are not making enough offers, right? To get the practice in order to let alone get the profit, right? So just like a relationship, it's the same way. You have to make offers. So it's activity before the offer, before the conversion, before the sale is what really matters, right? Before the ask. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, and if people don't buy from you, right, and because you haven't made them an offer, so they stay in the same suffering, because that's really what it is, right? People don't naturally wake up wanting to buy something, right? They're looking to buy something because they are either 2 things happening. They want to move away from pain as fast as possible, or they want to move towards pleasure as fast as possible. They wake up because they have a problem to solve or a payoff that they want to get to, right? Think about this. Somebody wakes up today and they go out shopping, right? Want to buy a shirt, a guy, right? A nice shirt, nice pants, or a girl, you want to go out and buy a blouse, right? And you're not in a relationship and you're looking for a relationship. What those 2 people did was they went out to buy something to solve a problem, because the problem that they have is that they're lonely. They're solving a loneliness problem. Does that make sense? Right? So if you really think about, if people don't buy from you and you really can help them solve a problem, or they can help you get a payoff, then both of you essentially feel that they're suffering. You're suffering because you're not getting the sale. You're not doing the impact that you want to make. And they're suffering because they haven't solved the problem, right? They're not moving away from that pain, or they're not having been moving more towards that pleasure as fast as possible. So you have to make offers to many people, because selling is not an event. It's a journey. Selling is not an event. It's a journey. So that's why today we're going to talk about sell or stay broke, how the top 1% make millions by making offers to many people. Again, how the top 1% make millions by making offers to many people. An offer you don't make is an offer that they cannot take. Okay. Selling is serving the people that you're actually called to serve at the highest level. That's the mindset that you have to shift to when it comes to making offers. That, again, the activity of before selling, the activity before trying to convert, right? The activities before making offers, right? You have to shift that mindset that selling is serving the people that you're actually called to serve at the highest level. Okay. You think most people, including yourself, I know I did a lot of times until I realized, oh, it's activities before that. You think you have a conversion problem, right? The truth is the activities before the conversion are the problem, right? You're avoiding the rapport building that's necessary. You're avoiding the real straightforward talk that people really want to hear, right? The discussions they want to enter, or they want people to enter with them, right? You to enter with them, somebody to shoot it straight with them, right? You're avoiding the real meaningful conversations so that they can feel you once they find you. You are avoiding the real ask, right? Asking for them to get out of their own way, asking for them to say yes to your offer because you know you can actually help them, right? You're avoiding the rejection, right? The rejection. And here's the thing, rejection is a part of the game, right? Again, you need to practice before the profit, okay? And I completely understand how you feel. If you look at sales, 100% of every sale, everybody feels when they're actually doing selling, feels the same way as you, right? Avoiding all of these things, right? And that's why, I'm here to share with you. Everybody feels it. You just got to figure out what your numbers are, what your law of average numbers are. Okay. I personally have sold over $150 million worth of products and services. I've generated over $15 million in revenue for myself personally on my own personal sales. I have coached over 1,000 people in terms of selling, serving, making offers, creating, marketing, and selling their offers. And that's why today I want to share with you the 7 steps that you must take, the activities, right, that you're going to take to get clients to buy more from you, and get clients to rebuy. Because again, either sell or stay broke. And today we're going to talk about how the top 1% make millions by making offers to many people, right? So before I dive into these seven steps, somebody comes to me and says, I've been stuck at between $40,000 to $50,000 a month, and I want to get to 100K a month. I want to get to 7 figures, right? I want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur, and I've been stuck at 6 figures for 3 years, right? And I look at, okay, perfect. So I look at their offer first. I look at their offer and I say, okay, so you have a $10,000 offer. That's what you're selling. Okay. And you're closing on an average of what? 4 clients a month. Okay. So you're stuck around $40,000. Okay. And you're closing 4 consistently every single month. Yes. Okay. And they want to get to 10, right? So I look at how many offers are you making, right? And then I look at their offers and I find out that they're averaging about 10 offers a month, and their closing percentage is really good. They're closing at about 40% closing ratio, right? So their law of averages is 40%. I finally find out the problem is, right? You're trying to get to $100,000 a month. You're trying to close 10 sales. Your law of averages is 40%. Your offer is 10,000. That's why you're only closing 4, because you're only making offers to 10 people, right? You should be making offers to at least 24 people, right? 24 to 26 people, right? Because then you'll get to 10. So I find out what their problem is. They believe they have a sales problem, but they really have a making offers problem. And then I go up to their middle funnel and I find out why are they only making 10 offers a month. Then I find out that, they're not having enough meaningful conversations, meaning they're not presenting enough, regardless of what your presentation is, whether it's a challenge, one-to-many, an event, one-to-many, or, one-on-one discovery strategy calls, or automated selling. Regardless of what, this client was actually only having very few meaningful conversations. Obviously, the meaningful conversations they had, they were presenting and then also ultimately making offers to only 10 people. Okay, so why? Then I look at go up beyond that, up their funnel, and they say, okay, why are they only having Why are they doing only 10 presentations, having 10 meaningful conversations, only making 10 offers? Then I find out that they're not generating enough leads, right? They have to be generating probably 35 to 40 leads in order for them to present to 10 people, right? At what they're doing. So that means that they have to double their leads to at least 60 in order to present to 24 or 26 people. So I find out that they're not generating enough leads. They don't have enough people to actually have meaningful conversations present to, let alone have enough people to sell to. So then I find out why don't they have enough people to sell to that go over their top of funnel, and I find out that they're not creating enough content, right? They're they don't have enough people that are aware that they actually exist. Then I find out it's their traffic problem. They're not creating enough content, so that's they don't have enough people to know that they exist. You see, there's people already buying. The only problem is they don't know that they exist, right? So there's not a lot of traffic, so that means that they don't have enough leads. They don't have enough leads. They don't have enough people to present to and have meaningful conversations with. And if they don't have people to have meaningful conversations to present to, they're not making enough offers. They're not making enough offers because their closing percentage is 40%. They're only offering 10 people a month on an average. That's why they're only doing 4 sales. So we got to take what they're doing and essentially almost triple what they're currently doing as far as traffic. Triple their leads, triple their presentations, triple their meaningful conversations, and then ultimately triple their offers that they actually make, and they'll hit 10, right? And that's exactly what they did, and that's exactly what got them to build a 7-figure business, right? And that's what we're here to share with you today. So we're going to go right to the very top. The very first step in this is lead attraction. Lead attraction, just like the relationship with my wife. I turned 30. I want to get into a serious relationship. I want a permanent relationship. I'm done, right? Having temporary relationships. I wanted somebody who I can build a life with. But I know that she's not going to come knocking on my door, right? That girl. I have to go in proximity of her. I have to find her, right? I need to be seen by her. I need to be her to be aware that I exist. I need to be aware that she exists as well, right? And that's what lead attraction is. This is in business. This is your content creation. Whether it's organic content, whether it's DMing, whether it's paid ads, whether it's referrals, affiliates, it doesn't matter, right? There's a marketplace out there, people that have problems, they're looking for a payoff, but they don't know that you exist. That's why step 1 is lead attraction. Everything is downstream after lead attraction. Everything is downstream after traffic. The very first step is what we call law of attraction. There are 4 laws that govern your business. And these are timeless principles, whether it's you running it yourself, you have a team, AI, technology advancement, it doesn't matter. These 4 laws and these 7 steps are timeless principles. So the very first law is law of attraction, right? Lead attraction is about attracting who you actually want to work with, your ideal client. And at the same time, which is marketing, traffic is about also repelling those that you actually don't want to work with, right? So lead attraction is first thing. Second is lead generation. Lead generation is where now people know that you exist. And if you shared something with them, then there's interest. Now they go from awareness to interest. They're interested. Then this is something where you actually can give something of value, like a lead magnet, right? They can get something for you to opt into something that they can download, something to read, listen, or watch. They can join a community, a Facebook group, a school community, whatever it is, right? You can join them, Mighty Networks, whatever you have your community in. Or they can register for something live, like a live webinar, masterclass, right? A discovery call, right? Something like that. This is lead generation. This is the second law that governs your business, which is law of large numbers. You see, most people, the reason why they're not making enough offers is they don't have enough people to actually sell to. That's really the main issue, right? So if you're creating enough traffic, you're tracking your audience, and in large numbers at your top of funnel, your middle funnel is about now if they're interested, you got to build that list. You got to have enough people to actually sell to. So that's the second law, and that's the second step. The third is lead nurturing. Now that you generate the lead, you started the relationship, right? Your law of large numbers, that's the second law. You have to nurture the relationship. Not everybody is that opts in or registers, right? Or joins. Not everybody is going to buy right away. Sometimes people wait. Sometimes people want to find out if you're the same person on stage, backstage, off stage, right? They paid you with their time and their attention. They're going to do that first before they pay you with their assets. They're going to pay you with their time before they pay you with their money, right? So lead nurture, you got to build a relationship. You got to continue to add value. You see, one of the things I learned from one of my mentors, Tony Robbins, he said that in life, we're equal as souls, but we're not equal in the marketplace. Those who add the most value wins in the marketplace. So continuously adding value. That's why the third step is lead nurturing. And then just like my now wife, I remember when I got in proximity with her, those connection right away, right? And just imagine if I just walked up to her and said, "Hey, would you marry me?" Right? We're gonna have 2 kids together and live with each other for the rest of our lives. It would freak her out, right? So of course not. So lead generation, basically me asking her on our first date. So she goes on her first date with me, and then we had an amazing first date. And then since we had an amazing first date, I asked her on a second date, right? So we went on our second date, right? That's lead nurturing. And then we went out on a third date and nurturing, building rapport, deepening the relationship some more until I felt like, oh my God, I really like her. I think she's the one. And I felt the same way. She liked me. And then I felt like I've earned the right to make a move, right? So you've earned the right to make an offer in business. And I remember we were riding home and got there, walking up to her place and, leaned in to give her a kiss and she kissed me back, right? She kissed me back. So I made my move. And that's where this fourth step comes in, which is lead conversion. This is where the timing's right, the energy feels right, everything feels right. You've added massive value. They've consumed, they continue to consume. As a matter of fact, at this point in time, they actually want you to make the move. They actually want you to make the offer, right? Just like my wife, I felt like she wanted me to make the move. It just felt right. And if I don't, right, I might have done it on the next date as well, but at the same, it just felt the timing was right. So making your move, just like making an offer, you just know that the time is right. You've added massive value, right? You have shown them that you are the one and you have the way, right? All of that stuff. And you've done it, especially if you've done it, right? You've actually solved your own problems. That's why you create your offer, or you achieve the payoff, just like me and my wife now. We are what we call anywhere entrepreneurs, freedompreneurs, where we're able to live, to work, to earn from anywhere. We are living our transformation. So we are qualified as guides now because we went through our own hero's journey to get to this point. That's why we created our offer. If we can do it, gosh, we can help other people do it. So thus we created our offer, right? And for those of you who are here with us as well, before we go into the next few steps, again, I would love it if you, watching this, subscribe to our channel, stay connected, stay plugged in. We promise you, we're not here to waste your time. We're going to give you value that we've learned and that we currently do. And again, our live transformation, we achieve the payoff. So if you are looking to be an anywhere entrepreneur, you want to be able to live, to work, to earn from anywhere as well. You want to be time rich, money rich, as well as purpose rich, then, continue staying with us, right? Subscribe, like this video so that algorithms can, favor us, as well as comment, right? We want to know your biggest takeaways. And I promise you, again, I believe time is the most valuable resource that we all have. I will not waste your time. I will make sure that I continuously level up every single video that we drop every single week for you. Okay. So subscribe to our channel, please. So lead conversion. So I made my move, right? And my wife said, she participated, right? She gave me a kiss back, this is amazing, right? So, and that's just like, you got to make offers, right? If time is right, you just know it's the right time that it just feels right, make an offer, right? So that's what lead conversion is all about. And then the fifth is client acquisition. So with us, for example, me and my wife, after I gave her a kiss, this was on Saturday. When we went to work Monday, I was excited and she was happy. And I was like, oh my God, we gotta go out to, grab dinner later with her. And, I'm just going to ask her to be my girlfriend. Right. And that's what happened. That's what I did. So client acquisition is now she participated. Now I'm actually going to ask her to be my girlfriend, right? To be mine. And in business, it's the same thing. If they've participated, right? So just like us, our very first offer to our audience is a ticket to our challenge, for example, right? At this time, we've earned the right to make the offer. So when people purchase a ticket to our challenge, especially the way that we have positioned the offer, we give this thing called a 10 times better than money back guarantee, right? What that means is if you paid, $97 for general admission or $297 for VIP, regardless of what, we are guaranteeing that you are going to get 10 times the value of what you paid to actually be there, or you can request 100% your money back. So we removed the friction as well, right? Made it very easy for people to actually purchase. So client acquisition is essentially after we made the move, right, they went from a participant, right, to a purchaser. Now, when they come to a challenge, the next is for us to make them an offer to purchase our coaching program, right? So just like I go from kissing her 2 days later, ask her to be my girlfriend, right? That's client acquisition. Be mine. That's a be mine stage, right? And then step 6 is client ascension. So I was with my girlfriend Phyllis at that time for 3 years. After 3 years of being with each other, I felt, man, she's the one. She's the one, right? I wanna definitely want to build a life with her, right? So guess what I did? What's the next step? I asked her to marry me. She said yes, right? So same thing here, right? When clients purchase our coaching program, our client ascension offer is our premium value offer, which is after we help them get to 100K months. Now the next step is we help them build an 8-figure business, right? So we have a premium value offer after our coaching offer to say, hey, let's take you now from, we've helped you get from 6 to 7. Now let's get from 7 to 8, right? So that's step 6. And then step 7 is client retention. Me and my wife, Phyllis, were together married for almost 8 years, and boyfriend and girlfriend for almost 3 years, right? So literally almost 11 years of our life together. I finally asked her, I want to be lovers for life, right? Let's start having children. Let's start buying houses, start building a life together. And she said yes, right? That's client retention, right? Getting them to essentially rebuy, right? So if you were to look at what we've done here from client acquisition, client ascension, client retention, there's 3 steps, right? 3 steps that you can build any business in any economy with these 3 steps. First is you got to get clients to buy. So with us, it's after we earn the right to make an offer, we make an offer for people to come to our challenge. That's what we get clients to buy. Second is get clients to buy more. And that's where our client ascension comes in. That's where our coaching offer comes in, right? For them to go from 6 figures, 7 figures. And then after they did that, we're going to make them a premium value offer. And both of those offers have a renewal every year of 12 months. They're both 12-month offers. And then we have them renewal, and that's our client retention offer. The third step is getting clients to rebuy from, right? Because the 4 laws that govern every single business, we talk about law of attraction, which is having traffic, right? Getting enough people to be aware that you actually exist. Second is law of large numbers. Law of large numbers is having enough people to actually sell to. Third law is law of averages. This is where you're making offers, right? Getting clients to buy, getting clients to buy more from you, making offers, and you'll find your law of averages. And then the fourth law is law of engagement. Law of engagement is where you actually get clients to rebuy from you, right? Get clients to rebuy. Because engagement leads to ascension. Engagement also leads to return clients, right? That's why those 4 laws that govern every single business. Doesn't matter the niche you're actually in, doesn't matter the client, the marketplace. These 4 laws are 100% across the board. Business principles that govern your business, and they are also timeless. Same thing with the 3 steps to growing business in any economy: get clients to buy more, get clients to rebuy. And the 7 steps that I've just walked you guys through here is the relationship model. See, we treat people with these 7 steps, just like the relationship with my wife, right? Lead attraction is about me getting proximity with her. Lead generation is about me asking her for a first date. Lead nurturing is about me asking her on a second date, third date. Timing's right, energy's right, feel like we're a good fit, we're meant to be with each other. Lead conversion is about making your first move. Client acquisition is about asking the be mine stage. Now that we made the first move, we're both participants. The next step is, hey, will you be my girlfriend? The next step is, hey, join our coaching program, right? Client ascension is your premium value offer. Just like I asked my wife after 3 years to be with each other, to marry me, right? Then client retention is after being with her for 10, almost 11 years, asking that we should start a family, right? Let's buy houses, start a family, let's build a life together, lovers for life. And she said yes as well, right? And that's where your recurring offers come in as well. So these 7 steps are exactly how you should treat your clients, right? Taking them from people to prospect, then to potential to then participant, right? You made your move. Participant to purchaser. You've actually made them an offer to purchase your high ticket, like in our case, our coaching program, right? From purchaser to essentially a promoter, where now you have your clients who are raving fan clients of yours because you help them get the results that they want. Like from us to go from 6 to 7 and then 7 to 8 figures. They're raving fan clients. They got the results and achieved the transformation that they wanted from you, right? So Implementation is very, very simple, my friends. This is my call to action here. Sit down and look at these 7 steps. Lead attraction. What is your game plan, your strategy around traffic, your lead attraction? You should have multiple traffic sources. Focus on one product, but multiple traffic sources. What's your lead attraction strategy? Second is your lead generation strategy. Are you going to have your audience who's interested, now that they are aware that you exist, are you going to have them opt in for something, to get something, download a file, a video, something to listen to, something to read, something to watch, or join something, join a community, join a Facebook group, right? Or register for something live? What's your lead generation strategy? And then third is what's your lead nurturing? How are you going to continuously add value to them and let them come to you to ask you or to find out from you where your offer is, where you don't have to sell, where you could serve hard and the sales become easy, right? That's lead nurturing. How do you deepen? How do you build rapport? How do you continuously, you started the relationship, now how do you build upon the relationship? Lead conversion, having some type of a offer that has like removing all the friction. Like in our case, right? We have a ticket to our 5-day challenge, $97 for general admission, $297 for VIP, and it comes with a 10 times better than money back guarantee. That is making our first move. And if they participate in that, then after they spend 5 days with us at our challenge, especially with the 10 times better than money back guarantee, where we guarantee that when they, it's worth at least 10 times the value of what they paid to actually be there, right? And then when they come to that, we deliver massive value. And then we're in a position, we have them fill out an application if they want to hear our coaching offer. And then on day 4, we share our coaching offer, right? And that's our client acquisition. And then once we help them get from 6 figures, 7 figures, a 12-month coaching program, then we make them a client ascension offer, which is our premium value offer to help them go from 7 to 8. And then step 7 is client retention. This is where both of those offers actually have a renewal. They can renew every single year. It's a 12-month offer, right? So think about your business in terms of that. Lead nurturing, right? How are you going to continuously add value, serve hard, sell easy. Lead conversion, what's your low ticket, right? What's your low ticket that you can actually make an offer, removing as much friction as possible. Client acquisition, what's your high ticket, right? What's your product, service, or coaching program, or your mastermind? And then client ascension, once you help them achieve the results, what do you want them to send up your value ladder? And then client retention, how do you set it up where your offers can be renewable, right? Whether then after the first year, they could just pay you monthly premium every single month, or they renew for the next year, right? Just like us, we've been Inner Circle members with Russell Brunson for 4 years now. We renew every single year, right? Because there's so much value in there. For us, it's beyond the payout, which is what the investment is. Now we're looking at the payoff, what we actually get for that investment, right? We look to focus on the payoff, not the payout, right? That's the implementation part. So my invitation for you is this: if you want to implement these 7, get some clarity around how to actually structure your business from top of your funnel all the way to your bottom of funnel with these 7 steps, right? We are going to invite you to join our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge. If you are looking to achieve purpose rich, right? Not just sell a product, but to bundle, to package your purpose, your passion, right? The person you're called to serve into a product so that you can wake up every single day doing absolutely something that you actually love. You stepped up into your personal calling, then this is for you. Also, to be money rich and show you how to put that offer together with extract your live transformation, package it, put a value to it, show you how to market it, show you how to sell it so that you can wake up every single day and teach it, doing exactly what you're actually in love with, right? Extracting what you know, what you love, who you are into an offer. And then time rich. We show you how to systematically build a business that allows you to work on your business instead of in it. How to delegate, how to automate your business, how to leverage virtual assistants, how to build a team, how to communicate with them, how to lead your business. The Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge is about, day 1 is about living your dream life. How do you live an and life, not an or life? So you don't have to choose. How do you live an and life? How do you can have everything you actually want? Second day is about loving your dream self. How do you step into your authentic self? Third is how to lead your dream business. How do you now build a vehicle to get into that will give you the money rich that you're looking for? Fourth day is about leveraging your dream team. How do you achieve your time freedom? And then day 5 is about leveling up your dream. How do you put it all together? How do you align yourself, your business, and your team together so that you can achieve purpose rich, money rich, and time rich. That is what the Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge is all about. Me and Phyllis have been doing this for 20 years. This will be our 21st year this December, of 2026, 21 years in business. We've built several successful businesses. We've also failed plenty as well. So we are definitely qualified to be here to show you exactly how to do it, how to avoid the mistakes we made, and how to speed up your success, right? Because we've been there, we've been both, okay? So the link is actually in this chat. Again, the implementation, guys, is very, very simple. Lead attraction, lead generation, lead nurturing, lead conversion, client acquisition, client ascension, and client retention. If you want to do that, if you think about, sell or stay broke, how the top 1%, what they're doing is they're just making more offers to many people, right? But there's activities before the offer that you need to make. That's why you have to draw in the right audience and repel and push away the wrong ones that you don't want to work with. How do you build relationships and deepen it before you actually start making offers, right? And you got to make a lot of them. And that allows you to, those steps prior to making offers allows you to get the practice in before you actually can get the profits. Just like my relationship, I needed the practice to ask many, many girls to be my girlfriend so that I can ultimately get the right to the yes that actually matters. Okay. So for those of you who are joining us at our Dream Life, Dream Business Challenge, we will see you there. We're excited to have you. It'll be a live challenge and you'll get the training, the coaching that you need to succeed fast and to ensure that you actually avoid any mistakes, right? Or trying to figure this out on your own. Okay. Other than that, guys, it's been a pleasure being here with you. Again, sell or stay broke. How the top 1% make millions. They're actually making offers to many people. Stay blessed.